Okay, welcome to Champion Chats episode 3. This week we have the lovely Evelyn.
I am Evelyn Neyens from Belgium. In my professional time, I'm a police officer, and in my free time, I'm a kickboxer, point fighting, and I've been doing it since the age of 6. Got into it from a young age, and I've not stopped since. So,
what made you get into it?
Well, actually, I went to the sports hall just to have a look at what sports were on, and then we saw kickboxing, and my brother, I have a twin brother, he wanted to start doing it, and then the next week I went to watch him do it, and then I thought, oh, actually, this looks like something I would enjoy, and then once I started it, I've not quit since.
Did your brother carry on doing it?
Yeah, he did it up until the age of 13, maybe. He did some like world championships and all that as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he win?
Nah. Didn't win, but he was all right. He liked it, so he enjoyed it.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Like my family was all rubbish. Like a few people joined in, but they lasted like 6 months, and then that was it.
Yeah, even my mum's husband, he joined in training for a while. Well, obviously not competitions, but he joined in training as well. And then my mum's quite involved in it, so everybody's a bit involved.
What do you think in your career so far was your biggest achievement?
Difficult one.
Mainly because you win everything.
No, probably the first time I won the World Championships adults. So the first World Championships, that was in Ireland in 2015. And that was a really big achievement for me because I had a really tough draw. And in my final, I was lots of points down. I didn't think that I was going to win. I was in the final with Louisa from Italy. And I managed to pull it back. So that was a really big achievement for me. And then probably also the first time that I won the Irish Open Grand Champion, that was quite special as well.
How many times did you enter a World or European Championship and not win the first place that you wanted?
Well, with the adults, when I was a junior, I always had like second or first place. So I did quite all right then. And then my first adult European Championships, was it Worlds or Europeans? I can't even remember, but I lost my second round and I wasn't used to losing that early on. So I was really disappointed in myself and thought, oh, I never want this to happen again. So I trained even harder.
It's quite interesting. And then, because everyone else said that there's been like loads and loads that they've been to and they haven't won, and then there was like one that they won, and that kind of like snowballed the affair.
Yeah, well, the one in 2015 when I won the World Championships, the next year at the European Championships, I actually lost my first round, which also was like really unexpected and very disappointing, considering I was doing really well at other competitions, winning lots of open weights. But yeah, that happens, and it was just a small setback because the next year I won the World Championships in 2017.
It was a big name you lost to, or somebody that just kind of took you by surprise?
I lost with Dorina Szabo. It was my first round, so I knew it was going to be a tough first fight, but I think lots of external things got in the way of it a little bit. I went to extra time and then last point. And then I lost the last point. So,
if you could relive one specific moment in your journey, what would it be? So it could be anything from a specific moment in training to winning a certain competition to, I don't know, whatever.
Well, the competitions that I've done in the States have always been really fun experiences. So I would like to redo one of them. But in terms of actually reliving a moment, that would probably be the World Championships in 2015. It was such a nice moment that I shared with my mom as well, who's my coach. And just because I really didn't expect to win anymore.
If you had a song that got you focused or pumped, what would that song be? So we're big on like Spotify, and I have lots and lots of different playlists. So we're building a champion chat playlist. So you've got one song you can put on it, and it's from your journey that motivated you or pumped you. What would it be?
I think I have to disappoint you here, because when I was younger, I used to listen to music to get me in the moment. But now I really don't, because when I'm at a competition, I don't like to put music in. I like to be present, hear what's going on, see what's going on. I like to be completely in the moment, and I don't really like to shut myself off from it anymore. So I feel like when I listen to music or have a nap or go into a different room, I'm not actually there, and I don't get pumped by the presence of other fighters and by seeing other people fight. So yeah, I don't really listen to music before I fight anymore.
What about in training then? Is there a song in training that you listen to a lot?
Not really either.
Not really. Oh, Evelyn, come on, it's got a song.
Very disappointing, isn't it?
Is there one from childhood that you can remember? Obviously not like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Not really. We used to have this team song, You Can Get It If You Really Want. It was not obviously a like pumped up song or anything, but it used to be the team song of my team, and we would listen to that.
So that's going to be your addition. You can get it if you really want.
Well, I don't know if it's more of a trauma too much, but yeah, you can put it on, sure.
I'll put that one on for you. What motivated you to carry on as far as you did, or have, as you still compete?
I think it's because I don't like losing. Sometimes I feel like I'm less motivated to carry on and all the trainings, and you just have to put in so much time, so much effort, and then the difference between a win or a loss can be so small. Yeah, I just don't like losing. So every time I would feel like I'm not improving or other people are improving and I'm not, then yeah, I would just push myself more. And if I didn't get the result at a competition that I wanted, then I would just make sure that doesn't happen again next time. And yeah, for a long time, I knew I was training more and harder than lots of other people. I'm not saying I'm still doing that now, because lots of stuff have changed in my life, but I'm sure I outtrained most people, and that's what got me to get where I was.
Cool. And then, so mental health is a massive factor, obviously, because it affects your performance and all the other bits and bobs. Have you ever had days where you felt like quitting? And if you did, what did you do to pick yourself up? So was there like a certain thing? Did you have a day off, or did you do a certain like program?
Well, I do have days off, but unlike many others, I've never lost like a competition and thought, oh, I feel like quitting now. Lots of people have lost something big and then feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I've never had that feeling. When I lose, I feel like, oh, I want to do better next time. But sure, there have been days where I just can't pick myself up for training, or feel like, what am I doing it for? It's not like it's getting me much money. It's not like it's an Olympic sport, and there is that thing to strive to. But yeah, just like I said, I don't like losing, and I feel like I wouldn't want to waste all of the effort that I have put in. But for example, last year when I was doing my police school, it was really difficult to do any kickboxing on the side or to do any competition. So for a year, I've not done any training or not done any competitions. And then I was thinking, should I do the World Championships or should I not? Because, you know, I've not been training. But then I just thought it's such a big part of my life, and I just don't want to waste it. So I trained for 10 weeks or 12 weeks really hard for it, and still gave me a decent result. So
we should probably make a point of saying how difficult your police training was, because over here I don't think it's nearly as harsh as what you've done. So you should probably explain a little bit of what you did, like why you had to take a year out to do your police training.
Well, so first to get into the police school, you have to do different type of tests. So you have some physical tests, some cognitive tests, some social tests. You have to talk with lots of psychologists, and then you have this jury, and they judge you on everything. They try and like make you feel down. They try and attack you on personal stuff. So it's really not that easy. And then once you succeed for that, you get to start a year of police training, which is obviously all the theory of all law, criminal law, lots of traffic as well. And then the physical aspect as well, lots of training, the martial arts part of it, the shooting. But it was Monday to Friday that I had to go to school. So it was 8 till 5. Days were fully packed. It was in a city like 45 minutes away, so it was quite a drive as well. And then in the weekends, I often had an internship for it. Like I had to do night shifts to learn how the traffic part worked, or night shifts or day shifts to learn how the criminal part of it worked, or how other police zones are doing it. So yeah, it was really a full-time thing, and all of my free time I really trained for that. I trained the martial arts that they wanted me to train for, the self-defense, the jiu-jitsu, all of the stuff that I actually need, how to handcuff someone, how to pin someone down on the floor. So yeah, that was my priority for a year.
Did you ever actually do any of that sort of stuff when you were training, like pins and locks and stuff, or was that like a complete alien to you?
Yeah, it was complete alien to me. I've only ever done like point fighting. I've not even done any like light contact or anything like that. I've only done any point fighting or traditional karate. And then once I had to learn how to do all of these bars and stuff, I obviously love it. I love all types of martial arts, but it was completely alien to me.
In your journey, do you think you sacrificed much? When I've spoken to other people, they tried to change the word sacrifice to choices. So do you think you've sacrificed or made many choices during your journey?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when all of my other friends were out partying, I knew I had competitions, or I knew I wanted to be training. So you knew in advance what type of life you choose, I would say. When I used to train 3-4 times a week, and then it would get me good results, but it wouldn't get me the top results that I wanted. So at a certain point, I had to just make a choice, saying, look, now I want to train harder than anyone, more than anyone, better than anyone, to actually get those results. And I did, but it did take a lot from me. I didn't really have a student life, because I was in college as well for 3 years, and I didn't ever go to classes. I only went to do my exams, so I didn't actually have the student life that I could have had. But that was fine.
All of your studying at home, you never went to the classes?
No, never, because it interfered with the trainings. And I studied in Ghent, which is also not very close to where I live. And I just went to do the exams and all the stuff that I actually had to be there for, but not the classes.
And how well did you do, even though you did it so differently to everybody else? Because I imagine everybody else was at, well, we would call it college every day.
Yeah.
I imagine everybody was in a class every day, and you clearly couldn't do that because of your training. So how well did you do?
I did all right, just because I knew it was a choice that I made, and it was, if I wanted to do all of that kickboxing on the side, then I would have to pass this as well, because otherwise my mom wouldn't be too happy with me. So I did all right, and I got my bachelor's degree in social work. But obviously I'm not doing anything with that at the moment.
If you didn't do this sport, what do you think you'd do instead?
Maybe something that has a little bit more money involved. I do enjoy a bit of tennis. Maybe I would get into that. But to be fair, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else but this. Not even a different type of martial arts. Like, I do love it, and I would train it on the side, and I would do it to help me build my point fighting. But I don't think I would be able to do something else. This is just such a big part of my life, and I couldn't give it up for anything else.
If you say something to the up and coming in sport, what would you say to them?
Well, if you want to be the best, you have to train like you're the best, and you have to believe that you're the best. So if you don't believe it yourself, how can you make others believe it? If you don't think that you can be the best, nobody else is gonna back that. And if you actually want to be the best, you're gonna have to train for it. Like, it doesn't come easy. Lots of people want to be the best, but don't train like they are. And yeah, if you really want that, you can definitely achieve that. It's all about consistency and just knowing what you're doing. Don't train for the benefit of training. Just train because you know what you're doing. Train because you want to improve in this area. Train because you want to improve your cardio or whatever you need. But just know what you're doing.
If you could describe your career so far in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
What would those 3 words be? That's a difficult one. I think strong would be one of my 3 words, because I've not always been doing that good in kickboxing. I've always been all right, but not the best. So it takes a strong person to know that you're not the best, to admit that you're not the best, and to want to get to the point where you actually are the best. So yeah, I think strong would be one of those words.
We got strong.
Maybe consistency, because even though I wasn't always the best, I was still training lots, and I always did lots of competitions. I've never taken a break from kickboxing. I've always been involved. And I think that's a really important one as well.
So you've got strong, consistent, and then what's your 3rd word?
What's my 3rd one? I don't really know. You tell me, what do you think my 3rd word would be?
I would say probably powerful, because I think when you step on the mat, a lot of people come to watch it. So you have quite an impact on everybody. So I'd probably say strong, consistent and powerful, because you consistently win. And now I'm getting pressure on. Consistently win. You have got a really like strong will and strong kind of like technique base as well. So then I'd say strong, consistent and powerful, because you aren't a massive fighter and you do have a draw to everybody. So yeah, I reckon that should be your last word.
Thanks, that's really sweet of you.
There you go. Strong, consistent and powerful. Boom. Was there anybody ever that you saw on the draw sheet and you always thought, oh, I really don't want to do that one, or you always thought would be like the one that would ruin it for you?
Well, I never look at a name and think, I usually think, they're gonna give me a good fight. But the one person that I always had that with was Louisa, because I knew it was gonna go her way or my way, and that the margin was always really small. So I always knew it was gonna be a good fight. I never assumed, I'm gonna easily win this, or I never assumed I was gonna lose it either. But I did know that it was gonna be a good fight every time. So yeah, usually we're on different ends of the sheet, but if we have each other the first round, then yeah, that could ruin stuff for both of us.
In the World Series, you obviously go to most of the World Series events. So what World Series event do you like the most?
I would have to.
It's going to be controversial.
I do like the Flanders Cup because it's smaller, but it does have a lot of top fighters. But any foreign events, I would probably say I like the Hungarian World Cup.
Okay.
I like the event. I like how it's run. I like the amount of fighters and the level of fighters. And yeah, it always gives me a really good fight, really good experience as well. So.
You've obviously, you trained with us for a little while when you were living in the UK, and you've been to America, and you've obviously lived in Belgium and trained in Belgium for a long time. If you could move to somewhere and train a little bit more, and it would push you on much further, where would you select to move to?
I think it would help me if I was surrounded by a lot of fighters that were motivated as well. So I think countries like Italy have a lot of strong female fighters that actually do a lot of competitions that you actually see at lots of events. And besides that, the States, I think there's a lot of fighters there that are not discovered yet or that we don't see at Wako events. But that are really, really strong and really fast, have really good techniques. So yeah, either of those places. I think it's not really, like, I don't really need to train with lots of people all the time, but it would help if I had some people that were on the same, not even level as me, but that wanted the same as me, that wanted to do the same competition.
The same drive.
Yeah, the same drive, exactly.
Because you were the wild card in one of the American competitions, weren't you? You got called up as the wild card. So you got called up as the wild card. What were you expecting when you turned up? Were you expecting it to be like a massive competition? Did it live up to your expectations? Was it bigger?
So the wild card was more for the night show. So that was going to be Wako rules as well. And the rest of the event, so it was the American competition. The rest of the event was NASCAR rules. So totally different than what we're used to fighting as. So I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew it was going to be big. But yeah, I did live up to my expectations. And I think I did what I had to do. I won the open weight. So I did what I had to do. And I fought in the NASCAR competition as well. And I won that as well. Yeah, it was a completely different experience.
What was the biggest difference that kind of like took you back a little bit?
Well, that you get 2 points for a side kick to the body. And also that in like 6 points, if it's a 6 point spread, the fight is over. So we're used to having 10 points, obviously,
6 points.
Yeah, so that's 3 side kicks to the body and it's over. And I'm not the fighter that fights with my legs most of the time. I'd like to take on legs and go over it with my hands. So I felt like it wasn't really, the rules weren't really suited for my style, so I had to adapt lots. And also they don't like to see lead hand back fist or lead hand punches. So it would have to be a reverse punch, which is also not what you normally do. So I had to adapt lots.
That like famous like picture though, isn't it? Like stretching in. It's that style. I remember like, because you always see the lives from sports martial arts on Facebook, and it always looks really odd. Like the judges like stand in the shade and they're in their shadow, and then all of a sudden when they come forwards to score, they step into like a light.
Yeah.
I was always a bit like, how's that even work? It must take forever. Well, going on our British competitions that like have no plan, it's just like, here's some fights.
Yeah. Yeah, it was different as well, because some other competitions that I've done, the Warrior Cup one, it had 5 referees on the mat. So you had to like look at all 5 of them. I was just like, what? They're all seeing different things, and it was really, so one in every corner and in the middle.
Oh, okay. Was it fairer scoring though? Did it make a difference?
No, I don't think it was fairer scoring, but it was an experience as well. Yeah, it's a really well-run tournament, and I really enjoyed going there. But yes, again, a different type of experience.
I think that's us all out of questions. I think we could probably ask 1,000 questions all day.
Yeah.
But is there any questions you want to be added?
Or
anything that you want people to know the answer to?
Not really. I think you've done a good job with making the questions.
Awesome. Right. Thank you for coming on. And then we've got more people coming, so it'll be amazing to keep track of them all. Watch that playlist. You're going to add your song.
Yeah. If I think of a better one, I'll let you know.
Okay. We're going to add that song.